Why is being born a potato a bad thing? Because no potato's fate ever has a happy ending. Everything starts before you're even born, deep in the soil. Months before your birth, they cut your mother in half, bury her in the ground, and cover her with soil, because you are supposed to be born from your mother's roots. The conditions underground are horrible. One day, a worm might come for your mother. Another day, a cockroach. Another day, a rat. If she survives, eventually she will sprout. And here's the good news. You're born as a tiny bud on her root. But don't be happy. Your mother still has to suffer a lot. Every morning she gets soaked in water. She gets sprayed with stinky chemicals, and her privacy is constantly invaded. Rain floods her home. The sun drains her water and weakens her, and she has no choice but to endure it all. Meanwhile, you're growing up in an overcrowded family with no resources. And after all that hardship, when you're finally big enough, one morning, your home is attacked. Giant metal hands of tractors pull you out of the soil. Workers throw you into big sacks without any respect. You have no right to complain, just like a prisoner. You're squeezed so tight in the sack that you might burst or get crushed. Once the sacks are full, they load you onto big trucks, while you have no idea you've already been sold. Your fate has been decided for you. Maybe you'll be lucky and end up in a store. Or maybe you won't be so lucky and you'll find yourself in a very strange situation. You might end up in a lab, thrown into chemicals to extract starch, or you might fall into the hands of a child and get kicked around like a soccer ball. Or they might stick some wooden sticks into you and turn you into a puppet. Or they might attach wires to you to generate electricity and make you part of a science experiment. Maybe you'll be used to remove fog. Maybe they'll rub you on sunburned skin. Maybe they'll polish shoes with you. Maybe you'll become a face mask. Maybe they'll use you to remove ink stains from clothes, or maybe something even worse. But as I said, if you're lucky, you'll be sold for food. Don't get excited. Nothing is great about that. That's just the beginning of hell. Maybe a kind mother buys you and you feel happy. Maybe a chef buys you and you feel excited. But none of that changes anything. Because after a short while, your skin gets peeled off, you get chopped into pieces, and then you get thrown into hot oil and fried. Your muscles are respectfully washed, but then, with complete disrespect, you're thrown into boiling water. Why? Because some spoiled kid craved mashed potatoes. Or maybe after washing, you'll be thrown into a shredder to become patties or soup for tonight's guests. Many of you will be sold alongside burgers for extra profit. And just as many will be sliced up and turned into chips. You think being a chip is better? Think again. Because in the end, you'll be crushed into powder with a single bite. Maybe you'll feel proud of your fancy packaging, but trust me, you won't be in there for long. As soon as someone buys you, a few hours later, you'll be dumped into a bowl. When the party starts, they'll dip you in everything. You'll go into yogurt, then get eaten. You'll go into ketchup, then get eaten. You'll go into ice cream, then get eaten. You'll go into coffee, then get eaten. You'll go into jam, then get eaten. Of course, those last few are from the end of the party when everyone's totally drunk. And in the end, no matter how delicious you are, you'll turn into a piece of poop. I know, becoming poop is terrible. But believe me, there's something even worse. Loneliness. Being forgotten. Maybe you won't get sold and will end up as animal food. Maybe you'll get crushed under a truck during cleanup. Maybe you'll fall out of a sack in storage and die alone. But in my opinion, the saddest fate is for the potatoes that get forgotten in the soil. The ones that never get harvested, never see the sky, and are left behind forever.